Stop. Before you do anything else today, I need you to hear this. The money sitting in your bank account right now is not yours. I know that sounds insane. I know you're about to click off. Don't. Because in the next 9 minutes, I'm going to show you something your bank, your financial advisor, and your government have never once explained to you. And by the end of this video, you will never look at your bank account the same way again. I promise you that. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually read your bank's terms and conditions? Nobody does. I get it. It's 40 pages of legal language designed to be unreadable. But buried inside that document, on a page nobody ever scrolls to, is one sentence that changes everything. And I'm going to read it to you right now. It says, "Upon deposit, funds become the property of the financial institution." Do you understand what that means? The moment your paycheck hits that account, it stops being your money. You become a lender. The bank borrows your money, pays you almost nothing in interest, and bets it on investments you never approved. You're not a customer, you're a creditor. And if the bank loses that bet, stay with me, because it gets worse. This isn't a hypothetical. This isn't some doomsday theory. March 10th, 2023, Silicon Valley Bank, one of the top 20 banks in America, collapsed in 48 hours. Not weeks, not months, 48 hours. $175 billion in deposits. Businesses couldn't make payroll. People couldn't access their own money. And here's the part that made my stomach drop when I first read it. The FDIC knew SVB was in trouble. They flagged it internally, and they said nothing. Not to the depositors, not to the public, not to you. Because in their calculation, keeping you calm was more important than keeping you informed. And SVB wasn't alone. Signature Bank, gone. First Republic Bank, gone. All in the same year. So my question to you is this: if it happened 3 times in 12 months, what makes you think your bank is different? Okay, you're thinking, but I'm FDIC insured. I'm covered up to $250,000. All right, let's do the math together. Right now, today, the FDIC insurance fund has approximately $125 billion in it. Sounds like a lot, right? Here's the problem. Total deposits sitting in U.S. banks right now, $17.6 trillion. $125 billion against $17 trillion. That's less than 1 penny of coverage for every dollar Americans have deposited. The FDIC isn't a safety net, it's a perception net. It exists to stop you from panicking, not to actually protect your money if everything goes wrong at once. Don't believe me? Look it up after this video. The numbers are public. They've always been public. You just weren't supposed to notice them. Okay, I'm not here to scare you and leave you. That's not the point. Once you understand the real risk, you can build around it. So for the rest of this video, I'm going to walk you through every place money can go when banks aren't safe. What works, what doesn't, and the one strategy most financial advisors will never tell you because it makes them no money. When people get scared about banks, the first thing they do is pull out cash. Makes sense, right? Physical, in your hands, no system needed. Here's what nobody tells you about that plan. In Venezuela, inflation hit 1,000,000%. People weren't spending cash, they were burning it, literally. It was cheaper to burn paper money for heat than to buy firewood with it. Now, I'm not saying America becomes Venezuela, but here's what I am saying. Cash is not a strategy. Cash is a bridge. It buys you 30 to 60 days of breathing room. After that, if you haven't moved to something real, you're just holding paper that's quietly losing its value every single day. So what is real? Let's talk about the oldest money on Earth. What's the only form of money that has survived every single financial collapse in history? Every war, every hyperinflation, every empire that fell? Gold, silver. Because they're not pretty, because no government on Earth can print more of them. But here's where Americans make a devastating mistake. They buy gold ETFs, they buy paper certificates, they buy digital gold. Let me be very clear. If you can't physically touch it, you don't own it. In a real banking crisis, a piece of paper that says you own gold is worth exactly as much as every other piece of paper. Physical metal only. In your hands, in a safe, at home, that's the only version that matters when systems fail. Now let's talk about real estate, because most Americans think property is the ultimate safe haven. Here's what 2008 actually looked like for homeowners. Average home values dropped 33%. Some cities lost 50% in 18 months. And here's the part that really stings: you couldn't sell. The market froze. Buyers disappeared. Banks stopped approving mortgages. You were sitting on a depreciating asset with a mortgage payment that didn't care about any of that. Real estate is incredible over a 20-year horizon, but if a crisis hits next year, your house is the least liquid thing you own. You can't pay your grocery bill with a piece of your driveway. I know some of you have been waiting for this part: crypto. Here's the honest truth. No agenda, no sponsorship, just facts. In 2022, $2 trillion in crypto value disappeared. FTX, one of the biggest exchanges in the world, collapsed overnight. People lost their entire life savings, not because crypto is fake, but because the platforms holding it weren't safe. And in a true infrastructure crisis, if the power grid fails, if internet goes down, your crypto wallet is a number on a screen that no longer exists. Small position? Smart. Your primary survival strategy? Dangerous. Here's everything I just told you distilled into one framework. Layer 1. 30 to 60 days of physical cash at home, accessible, not in a bank. Layer 2, 5 to 15% of your savings in physical precious metals, not paper, not ETFs, real gold or silver in your hands. Layer 3, real estate only if it's fully paid off or generating cash flow every month. Otherwise, it's a liability dressed as an asset. Layer 4, investments spread across multiple institutions and multiple asset classes, never everything in one place. Layer 5, a small crypto position, 2 to 5% maximum. Treat it as a high-risk bet, not a savings account. Your money is safest the moment you stop trusting one place with it all. Screenshot that, write it down, send it to someone you care about, because that one sentence is what separates the people who survive a crisis from the people who lose everything in one. I want you to picture something. It's a regular Tuesday morning. You wake up, make coffee, pick up your phone. You open your banking app, loading, error. You try the ATM down the street, out of service. You drive to your branch. There's a line wrapping around the building, and on the front door is a handwritten sign: withdrawal limit $200 per customer per day. $200, that's it. That's what your decade of savings is worth to you today. Now run that exact same morning, except this time you watched this video and you did something about it. Cash at home, enough for 2 months. Metal in a safe, no bank needed. Account spread, no single point of failure. Same Tuesday morning, same crisis, completely different life. Before I finish, I want to be real with you for a second. Most channels won't tell you this stuff because this stuff doesn't sell products, it doesn't push credit cards, it doesn't have an affiliate link. This channel exists for one reason: to give you the information that the financial system hopes you never figure out. If that's the kind of content you want, the subscribe button is right there. Every video I put out will be this or better. No fluff, no filler, just the truth they're not telling you. So I'll leave you with one question. Not will banks fail, not even when. On the day it happens, what will you wish you had done today? The difference between panic and peace isn't luck, it isn't intelligence. It's what you built before the crisis arrived. Start now.